Mistakes in a raw food diet. Do you make mistakes in a raw food diet? Do you have issues going raw? So let's go through 14 usual mistakes that people make in a raw vegan diet. Hi, my name is Eduardo Corassa. I'm a Brazilian nutritionist that lives for 16 years on a raw, whole food, plant-based diet. That means I only eat raw foods, primarily frugivore diet. That means fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds for 16 years now. And I have been thriving, and that was the best decision I ever took in my whole life. Back then, 16 years ago, there was no YouTube, no social media whatsoever. So I had a hard time going raw. It was way harder. But now, we have a lot more information, a lot more science, and a lot more people thriving on it. So you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did back then. So the first one, for sure, the main mistake is being fruitphobic. Yeah, fruitophobic, have fear of fruits. A lot of people, and even one of the most famous health professionals in America spreading raw foods, says that more than 3 fruits a day can cause cancer. What? With no science to back it up, people talk a lot of things, but there's no worries or no issues whatsoever being fruitophobic. So understand that your calories must come from somewhere, and fruit is our main ally. It's the almost perfect food for us. So enjoy always huge fruit meals to be able to thrive in a raw food diet. Second mistake is don't eat enough calories. A lot of people don't understand that raw food is a lot less dense than cooked food, because these foods are high in water content, usually fruits and vegetables primarily, right? So you have to eat a lot more volume than you eat on a cooked food diet, even a vegan diet, or even more industrialized food diet. So pay attention to it until you're satiated. That takes a while for you to understand how much you need. You can also use apps like Chronometer to calculate your intake of calories, but I don't measure calories at all for me. I just measure if I'm not hungry. More on that in the next video. Third mistake, don't eat enough greens. Greens have low calorie intake. Don't eat enough greens or eating too much greens. Greens are vital for our sustenance, for our nutritional adequacy. But greens have a lot of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, a lot of things, good things going for them. But they're not the most tastiest food ever, for sure. Fruits and nuts are more tasty than greens. So people usually undereat a lot of greens when they go into a frugivore diet. So that's a really important part of maintaining a frugivore diet. But some people in the living food movement also eat too much greens maybe, and don't have enough space in their stomach for fruit. So there must be a balance. If you don't season your salads, you have completely your nervous system, your neuroadaptation can tell you how much you need, your instincts. Fourth mistake, desire to be pure, too pure. People usually think, oh no, everything does bad to me. I should live on fruit only because I feel better when I live on fruit, or only fruit and salads. Yeah, for sure. Human beings are primates, anthropoid primates. We are created primarily for fruits and vegetables. But there must be variety. There must be a lot of things that some stuff even us in the science and the academic movement, we don't know enough about nutrition to be able to point and say you can live on only fruit and salad and never go nutrition deficiency. So some nutrients, for example, for B12, they can be stored for 10 years, and you're thinking, oh, I'm okay, I'm doing good, but that may not be the case. So Don't try to be too pure. For sure, maintain a whole food. I only eat what comes from nature, but I don't over obsess about like, trying to live on fruit and greens only. Fifth mistake, live on fruit only. I already talked a little bit about it, but I have to overemphasize. Fruit is too good to be true. So people usually forget the other categories, the other groups of foods. So fruit should be our mainstay, but it cannot be the only group that we eat. Sixth mistake, eating too much fat. That usually comes from the living food movement, so there's a lot of tips to not overeat fat too much, but 1 or 2 handfuls of nuts and seeds per day is more than enough. Seventh mistake, being fatphobic. Don't have fear of fats. For sure, we are not made for eating primarily fats or overeating on nuts and seeds or using oils, but remember, we need a little bit of fat. So avocados, nuts and seeds, coconut pulp, they're okay to use it as long as you don't overdo it. But if you try to exclude them for a long while, you may go into nutritional deficiencies if the diet is not really well planned. Our video maker and editor Murillo here behind the cameras gave a good analogy and a suggestion. You can have a car and it may function poorly with just fuel and battery with energy. But if the oil, if the chains, if a lot of other pieces of the puzzle of the car, of the engine of the car are not working properly, will not allow you to go as fast or to function as good as it should. So nutrition and lifestyle and health, there's so many small pieces that you think, oh no, now I know the way. But it's not that simple. After 16 years living on a raw food diet, I can guarantee you, it's not that simple. It's almost that simple, but not that much. Eighth mistake, don't have variety in your diet from the foods and food groups. I mean, like, eat a lot of fruit, they just eat 2 or 3 varieties of fruit. Or they don't include other food groups like nuts, seeds, mushrooms, fresh legumes like fresh peas, or even algae, for example, for iodine if you are deficient in iodine. There's a lot of stuff that we must understand, but just make variety a big part of your diet. Don't understand that nutrition is not diet, but lifestyle. So diet is just a part of nutrition. The air you breathe, the exercise you do, the sunshine you get, the mental poise that you have are also contributing to nutrition factors. For example, a mono meal can contribute to nutrition. So there's a lot of parts to it. So don't look just to diet. Believe that B12 is not an issue, or some other nutrients in a vegan diet is not an issue. It's a lot to talk about adequating nutrients through a vegan diet, but B12, iodine, omega-3s like EPA and DHA, zinc, there's a lot of nutrients being questioned in a raw vegan diet. I'm not suggesting that is not adequate, but B12 for sure, you have to supplement, you have to pay attention to it. The others may also go low or not, but it's not just like eating fruits and vegetables and I don't have to worry anything about nutrition in the long run. Sometimes you can feel really good, but still going to nutrient deficiency that will start to appear as small symptoms and then become really big clinical, not subclinical symptoms. 11th mistake, not studying and taking some time to dedicate to understand this change and make it happen. Yeah, it takes a lot of years to understand how to really practice a raw vegan diet, or even more, I should say, to become a natural hygienist. What I do and what I teach, what I preach, what I live is not just a raw diet, but it's natural hygiene. This science of health, a really natural lifestyle medicine, but in the most pure and accurate form, in my humble opinion. 12 mistake, being too harsh on yourself. Yeah, usually people get too harsh when they make mistakes. So don't be too harsh. Understand that there's a path to cross, right? So it's a long process. It usually can take years if you don't dedicate yourself too much and if you don't have enough guidance. So don't be too harsh on yourself. And the last one, don't buy enough food and maintain ripe food available. Usually people laugh at you because you buy so much food and they think you're buying for some like a family of monkeys or something. But no, you're buying for yourself and planning to have enough ripe food for the next week or 2 weeks or so. So you need ripe food because it's not potatoes that you can cook and make it ripe as fast as you need. Because bananas may take 2, 3, 4, even 5 days to ripe depending on the climate and a lot of stuff. So buy enough and get ready. So tell me on the comments, what did you think of the mistakes? If you already made those mistakes, if you want to become a raw fooder, if you're trying to engage in raw foods, tell me more in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get all our notifications, comment, like, and share this video. And if you want my help as a raw food nutritionist, I give consultations in Brazil, but also online to patients in other countries. And I have 8 books published that they will soon be on Amazon. We have 5 online courses still in Portuguese. They will be translated as soon as we can. And also raw food retreats here in Brazil, almost in front of the beach with organic mangoes and jackfruit and a lot of other tropical stuff. So don't forget to click on these other videos to watch more of our content and understand more how to change your diet for the better. Dr. Corassa, see you next time.